Kathy Vick, deeply awake. I have a bit of a nose cold. And what was really fun was I tried something new. I got echinacea and garlic at the store. And then I said to the echinacea and my body, okay, well, I'm going to take this echinacea to let my body know that I'd prefer not to get like a really super, super big infection kind of thing you do. I'd rather not. I'd rather just heal up naturally and do what needs to be done in the body. And then the garlic was to just make sure the body gets healed of any infective stuff. And I did that a couple times, and it kind of worked. It was neat. Because I was feeling pretty punk. But I feel better now. I'm still really dry. I need to really work on that. I'm kind of worried myself. And so I have a lot of stuff that's going on, and I think that's great. I'm glad about that because it tells me that it's time to move. And it wasn't before. And it was me wanting to move forward, planning to do something, really making an effort. And then having it break apart or fall apart or not work. And that happened to a lot of us, right, gang? It wasn't the right time, or you look at Deeply Awake and think, wow, that was a lot of work for who? For who? Well, I think for lots of other people who are going to come along and go, oh my, owie, something's not working now, Mo. And they discover this and, are helped along. But in the meantime, other things are going to happen, and I really feel this great shift where I really don't want to talk about stuff anymore. Full stop, I just don't. And it's got nothing, it's not you, it's me. I like that one. And it's not like I'm done healing something, whatever. It's more like I feel so much better, so much clearer, so much of the time. And I actually believe that I'm magic. Isn't that nice? Oh, finally. How many light shows? How many times do I have to burst into flames in my mind? How many beautiful, beautiful conversion things do I have to have before I begin to believe that some of this is true? Oh. So, talk about the disbelief being strong in this one. So, it was it's really hard to believe that you are super sparkly when the cards are stacked against you and you can't afford jack. And you're begging for your food. Oh, super great. Yeah. Yeah. I'm an ascended master and all that. Sure I am. So, it's one of those things. That's a tricky thing. And really, running through it all is love. That's all that matters. And I got this really big realization I want to hand over. Bashar says that all the stuff that you witness is neutral. And it's up to you to assign meaning. And so wrap your brain around that one. And then, of course, Seth says you create your own reality. And kind of what you see is what you get. You own everything you see. Enjoy that one. I was thinking, tell that to the POW. So, it's sort of like, ew, these are, ow. So, that was a big question I had. I don't think these events are neutral at all. No. They're made to be provocative. That's their purpose. Now, how are you responding? How are you reacting? Are you triggered? What's triggered? Does it go right through you, or does it make you all bent up? That's the purpose. It's not neutral. It is charged. That was like, aha, TD. That was really great. And so now it's not like, oh, it was one of these, like, I don't know, was it a logic question that I didn't understand, or was it a little bit more than that? I think it was sort of an energetic orientation or understanding. Oh yes, in the laboratory, this is all neutral. Now, is that quantum? I think that it could be very possible that there are molecules or there are situations whose built, by their very nature, they are to be provocative. How do the people around them behave? That's the quantum part. It's very fascinating, don't you think? I think. So, for me, I think it's been a time of just sort of kind of really deciding that winding down this project is a natural expression, because I'm going to do a couple projects that require more active participation, and I'm really looking forward to that. And it's a brand new way of expression now than it was even when I experienced before. So I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm going to write a novel, and I just can't wait. It's just great. And now that I've gotten the characters and the basic idea, and I'm going to do a little bit more with that, but it's just really fun to get that and to be ready. And there are other things that I want to accomplish and pursue, and I can now, and I'm just really, really gratified for a chance to still be of service and to move forward in a new way in my communities and also in my life. And you know, when the storm is hitting, it's hard to believe that that's going to be possible. It's hard to believe that there's going to be anything but more disaster, as disaster hits again and again, and you begin to rebuild, and boop, you get knocked over again, and it happens a few times. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes. So part of it is just loving yourself no matter what kind of storm is going through you. And being okay with feeling it, even feeling destroyed, when all around you people are thinking that you are intact and that your dwelling didn't get hit by the devastation, by the devastating finger of God that went through. But maybe inside you feel like you have. Sometimes I did. There's no way of explaining it. The only thing I could do is say, I need for it to feel sweet and nice. I need to not hurt. I need to feel safe. I need to just be quiet and still, and to just rest. I need to rest. I need to rest. And that's been a vital part of all of this too. And I hope that everyone has a chance to do that they're in a position where that happens, because it's very helpful during this process of expansion and contraction and integration, basically. So through it all is the theme or the reality of love. I mean, that's the purpose behind all of this. And some of that behavior that's quite provocative, well, you wouldn't think that's very loving. What's the purpose of that? Well, it's to see how loving you are. How are you going to respond to it? How are you going to behave? You going to sink down to that level and kick them back? Well then, fancy that. And there's a way of smiling and still playing in the muck. I know all about that. That passive aggressive stuff. Ugh. And then there's just being sweet. And sometimes confronting it, and sometimes not. Oh, most of the time not. And maybe being goofy and loving and disarming a lot of the time. You think? So there are a lot of ways to get by in this new energy, and there's a lot of ways to express. And I think it's perfectly fine to explore many different ways to express. And I think it's really great when we have little monarch butterflies flapping around, because I don't know, the Kaipacha talking about the butterflies, how they these little caterpillars, these little fat little June bugs. Well, they make a cocoon, and then they spin it up, and it entombs them, and then they spit out their stomach contents, I guess, the acid, and it eats away their body. It liquefies it. That's so badass. And then they turn into something else. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. It happens all the time. We just saw a huge monarch migration, didn't we? There are 2 Netflix documentaries on monarchs that are really stunning too, if you are interested in the lifespan and the meaning and some of the significance of the monarchs. Woo! And symbology too. So I think this is a time of great regeneration of self, and that comes after redefining self and realizing that there is a lot of contrast about, and for every yes there's a no. Well, then in the end that is obliterating. What is there then? What is there? And it's light, it's love. And then coming to a place where that is something that can be embodied more and more, where patience can be the lead. And that stands for me too, with all people, and just being cool and chill. And I'm not very good at that. I have unskilled behavior in some aspects, and I have the people to complain about it. So I think that now is a time of really profound transformation for all. And whether that's done in a conscious level or an unconscious level or a dream level, I think that it's really where you resonate and what you think is okay, what you think is acceptable behavior toward your fellow man, what you would like to be done to you by the state or by your neighbor or by your loved one. And also really in the end, how they could be in this for because of love, and that you are too. The words and deeds really they're very important, but you can breathe deeply. No wound is mortal right now, and it may feel like all wounds are mortal. But there are a lot of shadows about, and it all looks kind of mortal. So just breathe deep and enjoy it, because these are very fascinating times indeed. And I think that the wonderful astrology of Kaipacha Lesher is a great way of kind of nailing that down. And there are other astrologers who are just as prescient and have their own take on things. Everyone has their own interpretation, right? Right. So for me, this has kind of been a time of putting things down in writing, creating again, making contacts that are real and seem to be, and that are social. Following through with things that I had not followed through with before. Thinking things possible that I didn't think possible before. that kind of time has really been fun. And I can see that continuing. I remember about how it feels at the solstice, and just how much of a new consciousness it felt like. It felt so good. It was so real. It was taken to the bank real. It's over. It's over. All that is over. And if that's not liking self, or not supporting self, or not being supported, or not liking others, or whatever that might be, situations or conundrums or prisons or whatever, just like, yeah, that's a brand new reality. And I wondered in this, like, June, July, how we could possibly get there, because it felt at that time that our hair was on fire, individually and en masse. It was going to be like that for a while. And then to skip toward to December and see how quiet everything was, and really like deep bone peace. So, whoa, take it to the bank, undeniable, a done deal. And then I see the news and think, how's it possible that we could possibly get there? But I trust in it. It's so rock solid. And in the meantime, I see the planets moving in a certain way and having certain aspects that I think create very vital channels toward that kind of peace and certainty and enlightenment. Just light and peace. And that's really what's been coming through a lot, is just love is through all of this, and that it really is okay to have peace. And then I behave bad and go, oh my God, I fucked up again. So it comes and goes. It comes and goes. Is that okay? I think so. I hope so. I guess, what is it? Is there a tally that's done if my heart were to stop? Oh shit. The cutoff's 70, it's 80%. Dang it, you got 79. So yeah, you get the slightly better version of Earth when you come back, because you're kind of a creep. Well, I don't think it works that way. Not at all. I think there are a lot of reasons people behave the way they behave. And what's inside is maybe not what is seen. Oftentimes it isn't. And to just be okay with that. It's really is okay to not judge, because it's really not the time to judge. Especially not right now. Especially from the outside. So I like that this butterfly effect might be in place. The idea of the human being having butterfly wings too. The huge crop circle that kind of says, well, in case you forgot, in case you're not sure how to put this together, this is what's going on, you guys. And there is sort of a dissolution of your old self, and then a repurposing. And that's what I'm seeing. And that's why I come to you, because running through it is this certainty about love. And being able to see it more and more. And sort of being insistent that I do see it. And not going, ew, well, F you if I don't see it. But really being able to see it always. And it's just weird how I'm treated. Obviously you know how. Maybe you're practicing it. Maybe you've been practicing it forever. Maybe you're one of the smart ones in the class. So I wanted to make it short and sweet, but to let you know that this time of the butterfly, of like liquefaction of self, and then this soup, and then a kind of a coming together, and then a repurposing. I really think it's fine to take time. Take as long as you need, and that I think we all find in the end purpose in serving others. And it's really, we need to make sure that ourselves are fully stocked too, don't we? That's first and foremost. And that used to always fill me with such sadness. Oh God, really? You gotta be kidding me. That's just so sad. I gotta do this on my own. And of course it's kind of a lie, isn't it? But you gotta know how to be self-sufficient. And that doesn't have to fill you with dread and pain if you believe that love is always present. But I really, really understand now that I couldn't see that very easy. And when crosswords were said, or were really, difficult actions were done toward, me or whatever, then it would feel as if the love would stop. Ooh, that's quite the roller coaster ride to be on. And that's about object permanence. That's about a lot of things, but really, in the end, it has to do with believing that there's love. And sometimes there's just very little evidence, and then you're in trouble, and then you're in the land of the female. Thank you, women who stood up to Harvey Weinstein. Oh my God! And the reportage. It's just beautiful. It's so exciting to see, and long overdue. Oh, it's so great, and I love Sarah B. Having so much fun. So I hope you all are having fun with the secrecy falling, and the the walls coming down. In other words, in many regards, and that the old prophecies of there'll come a time when you can't keep a secret. Well, hope that you lived according to a law that you can defend and that you feel really great about, and that under scrutiny is going to hold up. That's sort of the idea, isn't it, with living, and about these times too. So what's done is done. What is to come is to come. What matters is today, right now, right this minute. So I'm happy. I hope you're happy too. I hope that these changing times are finding you at peace and willing to look at things a brand new way, willing to explain yourself and other in new ways that might shock, but that seem to heal. And I hope that you're being willing to just in the moment maybe change one or two things in your reality, and remaining open to brand new ways of doing any number of things. Being aware of how you're saying no, and limiting that. Limiting your no's. Isn't that cute? But it's important. It's resonating and going with what resonates. So really, really neat times, and I hope that each and every one of you are enjoying it in your own way. Of course you are. Of course you are. So, alright, have a blast, and thank you for checking in. Namaste.